Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be covering one of the most unique AR calibers out there, the 300 Blackout. We'll break down exactly why it was made and why it might be perfect for your next build. But first, a word from our sponsor. Hey. What are you doing?
Looking for the sponsor. Oh shit.
What?
It's us.
So, the 300 Blackout was created by AAC when they teamed up with Remington Defense to fill a contract designated by the Special Operations Units. So in layman's terms, they wanted a 30 caliber cartridge that could be fired out of a AR-15 platform, so it uses the same magazine, same bolt, same everything, same, what is it? Thank you. The same manual of arms. They wanted something that could be shot reliably suppressed running subsonic ammunition, because what they were looking to do was replace the MP5 SD, because it was only chambered 9mm, didn't have a lot of punch to it, didn't have a lot of, distance, a lot of great ballistics as far as what the enemy had, which was AK-47s. They wanted something that was close in ballistics to the 7.62 by 3.9 that the AKs were running, but they wanted to run it out of an AR-15 platform. That way their soldiers only had to learn one platform, one manual of arms. So in short, it's just a 5.56 casing chopped down and then nicked up to a 30 caliber. So it was made to be shot out of 7 and 8-inch barrels, so something super duper short. That way, they still had something super compact, which is exactly why we built this the way we did. We've got the 7.5-inch barrel, 9-inch suppressor, because again, shooting it suppressed with subsonic ammunition. However, you take the suppressor off, if you run like a flash hider, a compensator, something like that, we do have the side folder here. That way this thing can fit in a duffel bag or a backpack if you need to store it like that for transportation, whatever. And it will still cycle with or without the suppressor, subs or supers. We also have a IR, it's a Holosun IR unit up here. It's IR laser and illuminator with a visible red laser. We also have a pressure switch for it, which I just took off. On the other side, we have a Surefire X300 on a Zenitco gooseneck, running that with a pressure switch. Moving further back, we've got the Magpul QD adapter here, some TRX Arms bungees for TRX Arms slings. We've got the HRF flared magwell. So whenever you're under night vision, you don't want to look down, because if you've ever run night vision, you know that it only focuses to one distance if you're running just one tube, or if you're running two tubes, you have one focused up close, one focused to a distance. So you're typically not wanting to look down to do your reloads, even when you're not shooting with night vision. With this right here, it makes it super easy to be able to still look at target and hit that smooth reload. Also, we have the Magpul bad lever for manipulating the bolt with just your fire control hand. We've got, of course, standard safety selector, CMC single stage curved 3.5 pound trigger. It's a drop-in trigger. Super duper great trigger. Totally recommend this trigger. Moving back, we have the Magpul MOE Plus rubberized grip. Some kind of folder. I don't remember what this one is. Gave me some trouble at first, but I fixed it. Then moving back, we have the SBA3 brace. Not running irons on this gun because we already have the SIG Romeo 5 on a 193 riser, and we also have the visible laser with the Holosun up here. So we've already got two options as far as aiming. This is not a distance gun. This is not a go-to war type of gun. This is more of a night vision, shooting hogs, something like that kind of gun, or a bump in the night, home defense kind of gun. So I didn't think I needed irons for this, but it's super compact, runs subsonic ammunition reliably, has the supersonics. If I want to reach out there, I could throw, a magnifier or something back here if I really wanted to stretch it out. But this thing right here is an absolute powerhouse whenever it comes to any kind of short distance engagements. So what we went ahead and done, we went ahead and took the Romeo 5 red dot off of here, through the LPVO on here. We've got the trigger cam on so you can see what I'm seeing downrange. We've got subsonic and supersonic. Now what I want to show you is we're going to shoot this target with supersonics first, and then show you the drop difference with the subsonics. Okay, so here we are at 100 yards with a USPSA target downrange, starting with the supersonic. Go ahead and dial this in. All right, got the little dot there, center mass of the target. We're going to try to hit this thing. Ear to ear. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't see any hits at all. We're only at 100 and, well, this 120. Did not hit it. Subsonic ammunition now at 120 yards here. Ear to ear. Yeah, just high and to the left. Switching to Supersonic. Nothing. I'm aiming lower. Maybe we're shooting high. I'm bottom of the target now. Nothing, bro. Gonna aim super low to see how high up we are. Alright, yep, we're gonna aim super low to see how high up we are. I heard it hit, but I don't see a hit. Send another. Oh, wow. Okay, so where you just seen where I was aiming at, we're about that high up from the bottom of the target. So, we'll look again. I was aiming somewhere right in here, and that hit was right there. So, I'll aim bottom of the target now. I'm hearing it hit, but I'm not seeing it.
Could be hitting the leg.
Could be. I'm gonna hold slightly to the left. Oh yeah. I can see it right there. So yeah, with these supers, we're about a foot high and about a foot and a half to the right. I'm gonna put 2 more rounds of Subsonic center mass on that dot to show, you know, this is consistent here at 100 yards. Keep in mind, this is a 7.5-inch barrel with Subsonic ammunition. It is still effective here at, what is this, 120-ish yards? Still very effective from this distance with Subsonic ammunition. Now, if it was sighted in for Supersonics, it'd be a lot more effective. But gonna send 2 more. I pulled that shot. That was a good shot. All right, let's go check this out. So this is where we was aiming. This was our first Subsonic. Both of these are Subsonics. Super, super, super. This is whenever I was aiming down here. So that's about how far over we were sending them when we was aiming center mass, right? So if you were zeroed for supers, you'd be hitting them right here. Very effective. But yeah, that's the thing about it is with the Subsonics, that's more for closer engagements. You got the supers for, you know, reaching out further. So I think that's probably what would be best is zero the gun for supers and then run subs for up close, anything short engagement distances. And then if you wanted to reach out further, you could just throw supers in there, just change the magazine, send those out. So another thing that makes this 300 Blackout super deadly is how quiet it is when you're getting shot at. Subsonic ammunition going slower than the speed of sound, so you don't hear these rounds coming in. We're going to show you that right now. So what we're going to do now, we're going to move back to 120 yards again. We've got the target set up here, lav mic sitting down here so you can hear these bullets coming in, the report of the rifle, and the bullets hitting. We're going to use Subsonic Suppressed 300 Blackout, Supersonic Suppressed 300 Blackout, and a Supersonic 5.56 with just an A2 flash hider. Okay, so we got a Subsonic hit here, Supersonic hit here, and then 5.56 we just kind of shot into the dirt over here because the gun was not sighted in. We didn't want to hit the camera or the microphone. So that's what it sounds like to get shot at with a Subsonic 300 Blackout, Supersonic 300 Blackout, and a regular 5.56 rifle with just an open break. As far as the 300 Blackout cartridge goes, I think it's phenomenal for what it was built for, something up close, something compact, something reliable with Subsonic ammunition with or without a suppressor. Do I think that this would be your absolute, you know, go into Ukraine and go fight with? Good, depending on where you're at, what you're doing. However, it's not what I would recommend though. As far as distance shooting, it can be done. I would recommend something longer than a 7.5-inch barrel, and definitely run Supersonics. I would actually be curious to see how far we could stretch out a 7.5-inch with supers.
That would be interesting.
Maybe an idea for another video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. So if you want to get a 300 Blackout, you don't have to go with this exact kind of setup. You can go with like an MCX that's piston driven, so you can shoot it with the stock folded, you know, super duper short. I think those come in a 5-inch barrel option.
Yeah, the Rattlers.
Yeah, I think they do. So you can get super short, super reliable, but they are closer to like $2,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. I haven't priced them in a while. They're quite a bit more expensive. However, I do want to point out though, I personally preferred this kind of setup with the buffer tube. I didn't want anything piston driven. I wanted exactly this because I had so many spare parts off of my 5.56 guns that if I wanted to change anything, I absolutely could. When it comes to using 300 Blackout, Suppressed, Subsonic, or Supersonic for home defense, that would honestly be probably my number one recommendation would be Subsonic 300 Blackout, Suppressed. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Have you ever, I don't know if you've ever shot a like a 10.5-inch 5.56 with, you know, supersonic ammunition, no suppressor. They're quite loud. Imagine shooting this in your house. Yeah, you don't want to do that, right? So, Subsonic, Suppressed, 300 Blackout, so it's a 30 caliber cartridge. You're still getting great velocity even with a short barrel, which is, you know, the main reason that 300 Blackout was invented, because how short can you go on a 5.56 with a 10.3? Yeah. You have decent ballistics. This 5.56 was designed for a 20-inch barrel. This was literally designed for like an 8-inch barrel. So a 7.5, 7-inch, hell, I think you can go down to like a 4-inch on this.
You can.
And still have decent ballistics. Now, as far as a night vision gun, shooting 300 Blackout under night vision, it's about the same as shooting a 5.56. You're not really noticing a whole lot. Granted, you're not shooting a great distance with a 300 Blackout or even a 5.56 under nods, unless you have, you know, a specific setup for that. So if you're running nods and you're just running a carbine, typically your engagement distances are about 100 yards. Or less, right? Typically your CQB that you see on like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So why not get a gun that was made specifically for that engagement distance? But again, like I said earlier, that's why we have the bad lever, the flared magwell, the grip that's rubberized, the super nice trigger. One upgrade I do want to make is the nickel boron bolt carrier group.
They're smoother, aren't they?
They are much smoother and they cycle better. So, but I mean, this is filthy. I don't think I've ever had an AR this dirty. Just from shooting, that is. But it's because it's suppressed, overgassed. Subsonic ammunition is designed to burn all of its powder in short barrels. I think, in fact, all the 300 Blackouts are designed to burn all the powder in short barrels. However, not all the powder is getting burned. As you can see, we can break this thing open, and you'll be able to see that not all that powder has been burned. Mr. Eric, what are your overall thoughts on the 300 Blackout?
I think it's a good cartridge. Definitely a good rifle setup. And I think it does good in what it was made for. It hits a lot harder than I thought it would.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you shot the mud, that was crazy. I did not expect that. It was a supersonic hollow point, but it still did a lot more damage than I thought it was going to do.
Oh, yeah. It hit way harder than I thought it would. About the only real downside to it is it's a little gassy. When I was shooting under nods, I canted it sideways to shoot it with the laser, and a little bit of gas, but especially if you're buying in bulk.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, like, it is very vibey. I will say that.
So, that right there could be your shortest or this is our shortest configuration with this particular firearm. Of course, you'd want to run like a 20-round magazine, throw this thing in a backpack, and then you need it, pull it out, flip this out, rack it, and you're good to go. Now, of course, you wouldn't want your light just dangling, hanging off. You'd want to rig that a better way, but then you can just take your suppressor, screw it on if it's direct thread like this one, or if you have a QD mount, just click it on, and you're ready to rock and roll. So we're going to finish this off with a little scripture for you. John 14:6, Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. You want to explain that, Eric?
Oh, yeah, if you want eternal salvation, believe in Jesus, because he's the GOAT.
He is quite goated. Jesus is goated.
Christ is king.
Christ is king. Yes, yes. All right, appreciate you guys watching. Catch you next time.
I love you.
Look out. I'm going to throw a sub in there. What? Oh, wow. That kicked out how many?
1, 2, 5.
5 rounds just from dropping it from that height? That's crazy. So,
P-Mag don't do that.
P-Mag don't do that. You want me to show you? P-Mag don't do that.
What do you see, brother?
What?
Sometimes you just got to give it a good ugga-dugga.
Unga bunga. Just, I can't do it. I am a failure. All that soot on just one side of that. And it's because when we were filming the intro, it was slowly backing off. I didn't check it. Now, I don't know if they can see it very well, but filming that intro, we dumped 400 to 500 rounds filming the intro. So, I mean, obviously you're not going to see every single round we took. Some of it, we had to do retakes and stuff like that. But I want to point out that we did melt the cover. We melted straight through it. That's straight suppressor right there, which we'll get an up close shot and show you that. But yeah, these things get stupid hot. What do you think about running the Blackout under nods?
First time I've ever shot a gun under nods.
Really?
Yeah. Here's an empty mag.
Thank you, buddy.
It is kind of weird.
Into the dump pouch you to go.
You gotta try and maneuver the gun around and constantly risk.
All right, well, I'm gonna stay right here.
Out of frame.
We're gonna get the tripod.
All right.
Eric, come here. You want Blackberry?
I got a different.
Let's go.
It is cool that I can see in the dark though.